Welcome back to the channel. My name is Stephen Nguyen. I'm a pharmacist and I own 52 units of real estate. So I just got an update from my property manager for my 20 unit apartment complex in Enid, Oklahoma. And basically, some is good news and some is bad news. So it's been a little bittersweet. So the bad news is when I first took over the apartment complex, back in May of 2022, I had a bed bug issue that was missed on the inspection, and basically I had to spend about $500 per door, which is the rent I'm collecting, to fumigate all 20 units, right? And so that cost me $10,000. I fumigate all 20 units because of a bed bug infestation that was causing a lot of tenants to move out. So when I was doing the fumigation, um, we basically had to put notices on all tenants' doors, and they couldn't find the cause of it because a tenant can move in some furniture, and that furniture could have bed bugs on them, or one tenant who I believe is no longer there was bringing in homeless people for acts of service, keeping this PG, but would bring in homeless women for acts of service in order to get some food and some shelter. So, and prior, I guess the last property manager did let homeless people kind of linger around the area. It is kind of a downtown area, so that might have attracted some bad apples. So I just said, okay, you know what? That's the cost of doing business. I bought the deal amazing, right? I bought this 20 unit apartment complex for I think 350K, and I put in about 120K to fix it up, right? And renovate the units. Some units were brand new. Some units we just put in about $5,000 to fix them up real nice. And we were able to turn over the tenant base. At one point we had like 6 tenants in there, and now it's actually 100% occupied, which was the good news. So, any case, going back to the bed bugs, after that, after you fumigate, you put a notice, and the tenants have to like remove everything from their cupboards, everything from their closets, put it in the middle, it gets covered up, they fumigate it, let it sit there for a bit, and then basically the tenants need to, basically do laundry, deep clean their sheets, their clothes, and whatnot. So it's hard, right? They're tough to treat, and I thought I had a handle on it. And what's nice is they do give a warranty. So let's say they give you a 30-day warranty. So you have bed bugs again, they'll come in and fumigate that unit. But over the past year, I've noticed that we have to kind of ad hoc fumigate units at a time because of the issue. I just said, okay, well, that's just the cost of doing business. And the last owner did mention it, and my property manager did mention that a lot of the properties in Enid, I guess they're having bed bug issues, just citywide, unfortunately. So not just my apartment is being hit, but multiple single family homes, other apartment complexes are being hit, right? So now they basically said that, you know what, I think it's getting out of hand again. I have to do another fumigation, right? So it's going to cost me another $10,000. So I've probably spent collectively between the first fumigation, this one, and just spray, spot spraying, maybe about $35,000 or $25,000 in bed bug fumigation. And this is kind of the dark side of real estate, right? Like I refinance this at a I think 6.5% interest rate. It cash flows about maybe $2,000 to $3,000 a month, but if I have to spend $10,000 to fumigate once a year, as an example, I basically wiped out 5 months of cash flow, right? So once I kind of thought about that, I was like, this is kind of the dark side of C-class apartment complexes, right? Like your tenant base is gonna be a little bit lower. You're gonna pay a little bit lower rents. And you might have a tenant that brings in bed bugs and it causes infestation, and then you're responsible as a landlord, right? So during this time, I'm asking the pest control to say, hey, please find the source, right? Like if the source is one tenant, then that tenant needs to basically go, right? Because I don't want this issue. If you don't find the source, I'm going to continuously be fumigating over and over again, and it's hard to identify, and you're stuck with the bill as a landlord, right? So I was hit with a plumbing issue, and I'm hit with a bed bug issue. So this might be a property where if the opportunity comes, maybe I can sell it, 1031 exchange it into another property, right, to move on. So at first I wanted to keep it long term, but given what I've experienced, I'm now open to maybe selling it and 1031 up to another opportunity, whenever that makes sense, right? But right now it cash flows, it does well. So this is the joys of C-class apartments. But my 26 unit's been doing great. So if I can find another 26 unit in Oklahoma City instead of Enid, maybe I'll be tempted to 1031 exchange this. But in any case, that's kind of the bad news. But the good news is, obviously, it's 6.5%. If interest rates drop, I can refinance it, lower my monthly loan payment, increase my cash flow. But I just was told that my apartment is now 100% occupied. So at one point, I was at 80%, so 16 out of 20. But they just leased out 4 units in the past 2 weeks for $550 a door. So I literally increased my cash flow by about $2,000, right? So now I'm getting maybe closer to $10,000 a month. And let's just say that my expense is, because now it's stabilized. Well, let's exclude the pest control issue. I mean, obviously it's an expense, but like on a normal month-to-month basis, maybe $4,000 in expense. And then I have my loan payment, which is like about $2,500. So what is that? 65. So now I'm potentially cash flowing about $3,500 a month. But once again, if I have pest control once a year, it wipes out a couple of months of cash flow, right? So it's great. And then now my property manager is saying, okay, there's a lot of tenants here that I inherited, which one of them may be the cause of the bed bugs. I don't know, right? That's why I just said. And she said that she's gonna look at the tenant. So like one tenant's paying like $200, $250 a month. My new tenants are paying $550, and these are renovated units, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna approach the tenants that have way below market rents of like $250 and just bump up their rents a little bit. And when we do that, we do offer to fix up their unit in a way, right? So I'm not just gonna bump up your rent, about giving value. Like, no, we can give you a new fridge. We can give you a new ceiling fan or a fresh coat of paint, whatever that looks like, right? So like whenever you raise rents, you want to give value too. So we're gonna put some notices on some tenants who are paying lower rent. Say, hey, your lease is month to month. We want to re-sign you on the lease, and we'll see what happens. Maybe a tenant will leave, and I'll lose $300 or $200 of cash flow, right? But then that gives me the opportunity to renovate the unit and rent it out at market rents, right? And a lot of these tenants, they know that they're getting a discount on the deal, right? They know the new tenants that come in are paying $550 because they talk, right? And they know that they're paying whatever $300, they're getting a deal, right? And of course, we should reward loyalty if they've been good tenants, but at the same time, things are getting more expensive. Like insurance is going up every year for me, and now I'm at the point where I'm trying to move away from replacement cost insurance because it's getting too expensive, right? So if the property burned down to the ground and I have replacement cost insurance, I could, fix it up and build it brand new. I have a video talking about, check it out. But now I'm like, if it burned down to the ground, I'm not sure if I'd want to rebuild in that area. I just want to get my money and maybe take my money and invest somewhere else, right? Just given the bed bug issue and just sell the land. So now I'm going to pivot down and just maybe get actual cash value insurance, which is cheaper. If it's cheaper, it's going to increase my cash flow, increase my NOI, and I can save that to increase the value, or save that for another, fumigation or another issue that I have, right? So I had a plumbing issue, which cost me $3,000, and a bed bug issue, it cost me $10,000. So trying to do that and see. I will post an update to see. I think my property manager maybe approached maybe 2 or 3 tenants, the 2 or 3 lowest paying ones, to bump up their rent and see if they leave or they accept it and they stay. So I told her once we hit 100% or close, we can try doing that to not mess up the cash flow. So we just literally rented out 4 units in 2 months or 2 weeks. That's what's amazing about July. People love moving during summertime, right? So it's really great in that aspect. You move during summer, so it's easy to rent it out. And this is $550 is like kind of top of market rent right now in Enid, Oklahoma. But it's just still crazy to me how my rent's $550 and it cost me $500 to fumigate your unit for bed bugs for just one time. In any case, so that's what's going on. Let's see. I will post a video update to see how tenants respond. We put notices of you're renewing your lease at a higher rent, and I'll post you guys to see how many leave, how many stay. Anyways, if you found value from this video, please share it with somebody. Let me know if you have any comments or questions down below. If you're looking to buy your first multifamily deal and you're trying to scale from single family up to multifamily, check out the mentorship program and coaching program down below. Hope to see you next one. Thank you.